Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Tips and Tea Live. Just turn on my Do Not Disturb here. Let's see what's going on in the chats. Good morning, good morning. I don't know if everybody can see. I'm rocking a little solo today. My Tips and Tea counterpart wasn't feeling too well. So it's just me. Y'all stuck with me today, but we gonna be rocking and we rolling. We rocking and we rolling, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Welcome in, welcome in. Okay, I'm just gonna update this, make sure everyone has the info. All right. Okay, make sure I'm in here. Yes, good morning, Harriet. Good morning, Carmen and Aziz. Thank y'all for jumping on the live this morning. Okay, there it goes. Now it's popping up. Having a little bit of a delay, just a little bit. That's all right. We delayed, but not denied. Everybody delayed, but not denied. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure I'm up on YouTube. I am. All right, perfect. All right, well, welcome in, everybody. Again, thank you for jumping on Tips and Tea Live this morning. For those who just joined us, you see my partner here is the teacher Booker. She's not with us this morning. She wasn't feeling too well. So if you all can definitely just keep her in your prayers, pray healing and speedy recovery for Miss Siebel because, I miss my girl, my fellow sister queen when she's not on the live with us. So definitely keep C in prayer. Hopefully we should be back on next Tuesday, which we do have an amazing guest host power couple coming in next Tuesday. Fingers crossed. Our very own Miss Destiny Reedy and her husband JR are supposed to be coming on next Tuesday to talk about that power couple life. They was just honored this year at the 2026 Nove Awards for being Power Couple of the Year. So definitely excited about them coming on next week. But I'm just gonna jump into it because as we like to say, the queens be having things to do. Good morning, Miss Janine. So again, just good morning, everybody. We're on Tips and Tea Live this morning, where we like just to help people with faith, family, and finances. Those are our main focuses. We share our own stories, things that we've gone through, hardships, things that work. Hopefully, you can take what we've experienced and maybe skip some harder steps. Maybe you can take a shorter path. All right. So I'm Shantella Shabazz for those who don't know me. And we have real conversations about money. We have real conversations about credit, about business, and building stronger financial futures. So our goal here is to have practical financial tips, mindset, and lean on our faith to help us get through and do things that's going to help us apply these things immediately, right? So we just don't talk about it. We want to make sure we're being about it, especially smarter money moves. But today we're going to be talking about Christmas in July. I know I said the word Christmas, and you all probably like, why is she doing this to us? Christmas is months away, 5, 6 months away. Don't do this to us, Shantella. I have to because it's coming, and you're going to blink, and we're going to be there. So we're talking about Christmas in July, how to make sure you're wrapping presents and not yourself in debt. We got to start preparing for these things ahead of time. So it may seem a little early to talk about it, but that's exactly why we're here today. We know people enjoy the holidays, and most of the time financially, we try to just to push through. We running up the credit cards. Sometimes we're taking loans to pay for things. But if we try to get ahead of it, it might help us a little bit here. So on this live, no matter where you're watching from, if your goal is to have a debt-free Christmas, drop a Christmas tree in the chat. You like this year, I am not going into Christmas debt. So I do have a question for everybody. Grand Rising, Deja, thanks for jumping on. How much do you all typically spend during Christmas for Christmas shopping? Be real. Is it under $500? Are you between the $500 to $1,000 range? $1,000 to $2,000? Do y'all got some big families out there? Are y'all spending a bunch of money on Christmas gifts? Or do you just don't know? You don't know. You just know it's something that you do, and you're not counting the dollars. So are you under 500, spending between 5 to 1,000, 1,000 to 2,000, or you just don't even know at this point? Let me know. I used to be one of those people that used to spend a bunch of money on Christmas. We used to host Christmas a lot. So between dinner and getting prizes for games, was my family used to come together and contribute on the game. So sometimes people will bring in different prizes so we can all share in that part. And then just buying gifts from the nieces and nephews and everybody. I told my brother, though, he's cut off now. He's not allowed to have any more kids because the nieces and nephews was running my pockets come Christmas time. Harriet, that's smart. So Harriet says we just give money to our kids and buy for our grandkids. Yeah, same. So I just buy gifts for the nieces and nephews. I start telling the grown people, y'all aged out. Y'all don't get it. Y'all not getting any more gifts from me. My brother, my sisters, the siblings. Y'all don't get any gifts. Your kids get the gifts. They took over your Christmas presents. Sorry. But I do get gifts for like my mom, dad, and Aziza's aunt. We make sure we cover them because we're just so grateful for everything that they done for us, that they continue to do, how they cover our family. So we love them. We just want to show them, some love on Christmas. So we got to kind of figure out here why Christmas is creating so much financial stress nowadays. Because most people, they go into debt because Christmas is expensive. No longer are we finding deals on Black Friday after Thanksgiving. It used to be you can go find some really good deals, but now it just seems like everything is being upcharged, right? So people are going into debt because they wait until the last minute too. You're like, okay, I'm just going to wait about a couple weeks before Christmas, I'm going to go and grab some things and just get it done. But if you're waiting until November to save, then next thing you know, you're doing emotional spending. You're trying to impress family and friends. You're overspending on kids. And then you're using credit cards without paying them off and not having a plan when it comes to the payoff plan. And then now the buy now, pay laters are all over the place too, right? So we're looking at Klarna and Sezzle and Zip. Are you using these buy now, pay laters for Christmas debt? So the good news is you still have plenty of time if you're starting now to completely change what Christmas looks like for everybody. So I'm gonna jump into the teacher's tip because she told me what she was gonna talk about today. So I'm just gonna share this on her behalf. And she wants everyone to tap into that high yield savings plan that you have. If you have a high yield savings account like a SoFi, if you use CIT Bank, I do know that some of the credit card companies like Capital One, American Express, they also have high yield savings plans where you can now start in advance and putting money towards like a Christmas fund, right? So by the time Christmas comes around, you have enough money saved up and now you don't have to put shopping on your credit card, right? And then carrying it over into the new year. Who wants to go into 2027 with Christmas debt? I'm not trying to do that this year. So if you don't already have a high yield savings account, um, definitely reach out to myself, to Teacher Booker, or anyone on our heavy hitter team or our Nove family, and we can help you get started with one. We have an option where it's no maintenance fees, no minimum account balances. You can literally get started, and they pay up to 3.8% right now on the APY for a high yield savings. So if you're not utilizing that feature to earn more money on your money that you can actually see growing every single day. So with some of these high yield savings account, you can actually track how much money, extra money you're earning every day. Oh, I see another comment here. Carmen says, I give to my grandkids, my kids, and my mom. She's out and her grands and moved to the great grands. She was like, they've aged out. She's like me. If you have made it over the age of 21, you kind of aged out the system. Maybe you're doing something different and doing like a white elephant. So everybody's not getting a gift. Everyone picks a person, something like that. But it's a good example. All right, but back to the high yield savings account. So um, you can start small. If you haven't done this before, maybe $25 a week. If you start saving that, by the time Christmas rolls around, you have a little over $500, right? If you save $50 a week, now you have a little over 1,075. You're just over $1,600 that you can now use for shopping towards Christmas. So small deposits consistently can definitely become a holiday peace of mind. So we want to make sure that we're starting a savings plan now. Now, my tip is if you are working for like a corporation and you all have like PTO or holiday time that doesn't roll over, sometimes these corporations allow you to buy out your PTO, right? You can sell it back to the company before the end of the year. So I know when I used to work for Hilton Hotels, they used to allow us to sell back up to a certain amount of PTO hours. So if you want to take that and go Christmas shopping with, you can definitely do something like that. So employers do have PTO buyouts that, if it was going to run out anyway and it wasn't going to roll over, why not get the money back for that? So instead of spending on impulse purchases, now you can use it for Christmas shopping. If there's people who are doing holiday travel, you do family experiences, or you just want to work on building up your Christmas savings, then this is a good option. So $1,000 of PTO payout could pay for your entire Christmas before Thanksgiving. That's just something to think about. Yep, Carmen said grab bags are good too. Yes, these are really great ideas. Yep, we don't got to buy for everybody. These people got some money. I'm being bad. I'm going to slap my own hand today. But yes, grab bags are definitely a good idea. So has anybody ever received a bonus or a tax refund or a PTO payout and wish later that you had saved more of it? Comment yes or no. if you ever received a bonus or a tax refund and wish you saved more of it instead of just spending it. hmm I'm just reading the comments here. Some of them popping up on the screen. Yeah, so another thing that we can work on too is just shopping throughout the year. So if you see some deals, you know, you don't have to wait until Black Friday. Sometimes waiting to Black Friday actually is waiting for it to be marked up. So I know Amazon sometimes have Prime days. They have different sales in the stores where you can buy it now, wrap it up, and put it away. Just getting it done, checking it off the list. So by December, you already finished with your shopping, right? We can get that knocked out. And then, we have all these online shopping platforms now where you can just get it delivered to your house. You don't even have to go out to the malls anymore, right? Now, is everybody setting a budget yet for Christmas to try to stay within, or do you all just be out here spending freely? I'm just wondering. I had started setting a budget for myself years ago, especially when my daughter was little, because then I was just like, once this money runs out, that's it. I can't go over because I had other plans where things needed to go. Good morning, everybody. So, an example, say you want to break it down depending on who you're spending on. So, like for the kids, maybe you set in a budget for $150. Your parents, $100. Friends, maybe with the friends you're doing, everyone pick a name out of your friend group, and then you just buy for one particular friend instead of having to buy gifts for everybody, right? If you gift, send your kids teachers gifts. Maybe you're keeping the budget under $25. So budget is not a bad word. I know sometimes we're like, I set a budget, but it never works. But this is kind of a guide. Maybe it'll help you stay on track if you actually write them down and see the numbers laid out in front of you. So a budget could definitely control your shopping, and then you won't be emotionally spending on things. So budget is more than just gifts. Many families, forget about also if you hosting the holiday. How much money are you spending on food? So that's something to think about. Um, are you all doing a potluck where everybody is bringing something so it's easier on the host and maybe they're not spending so much money? Who's paying for decorations? Are you hosting holiday parties? Is there secret Santa gifts? How much is shipping costs? If you have some of these credit cards or Prime accounts through Amazon and some of these other platforms, sometimes you spend so much they give you free shipping. Maybe you stick to one platform so you can kind of help yourself avoid shipping costs because all those little shipping fees add up too. Do you have to travel to get to family? Aziz and I had to look at our budget this year and we're like, are we doing Thanksgiving and Christmas? This year we're going to pick a holiday. Instead of going back for Christmas, this time we're going to go back for Thanksgiving. Last year we went back for Christmas to Chicago to see our family. Sometimes we can't do both. So thinking about these things here. Are you a family that does the matching pajamas? It's coming around every year, right? Every year, y'all gonna get together. Y'all gonna buy ugly Christmas sweaters or matching pajamas. You're gonna do the group photo. This expense is coming. So this is some things that you can, allocate for in your budget when it comes to Christmas. So again, now is the time to start thinking about it. So these little expenses that we don't think about definitely add up. And then are you making your credit card kind of work for you and not against you? So credit cards aren't a bad word either. It's how we use them that determines whether or not it's a tool or a trap. So if you're using your credit card responsibly, reward cards can definitely help you earn more, especially if they have cash back features, airline miles, hotel stays, gift cards. If you get statement credits, and then some of them even do Christmas shopping rewards. I know Capital One was doing it last year where you can get reward points and then you can use it for different stores. They even do it now throughout the year where you get extra discounts and then you can also use your points to go shopping in their stores like Kohl's, Amazon. There was also Sephora on there for those who are into the beauty brands. Ulta was even on there as well. So definitely some good things that you can get from your credit cards if you're using them the right way. So the golden rule, though, when it comes to your credit card and shopping, is to never spend money just to earn points. Never spend money, everyone, just to earn points. Typically, I like to pay my credit card off at the end of before the end of every month, right before the due date. So I'm only shopping for what's in my bank account. I'm not doing extra if I can help it. Of course, emergencies happen and things like that. But to shop for Christmas, I don't want to go into debt because I wanted to shop for Christmas. They know what's in my heart. They know I love them. Sometimes it don't look like monetary love or gift giving love. It might look like something else. So if you do have reward points that's added up throughout the year, because I do use my credit card for everyday shopping, so grocery stores. At one point I used to use it for gas, but now I use it for Ubers to travel back and forth. Right. So those points add up, and now I take those points and I also put them towards travel. So I get points for free hotel stays, discount on flights, things like that. So use those benefits. So again, make sure that you following some rules for yourself. Pay off your statement balance before end of every month. Never carry a balance just to earn rewards, and use your card in the right way. If you're spending, and then redeem your rewards throughout the year. So it's not with Capital One and American Express. I know that they send you as soon as you pull up your app, it tells you which ones you get the most points for when you do your shopping for that week. So if you see something that says 10 times the points, you can utilize that if you was going to have to buy something from that store anyway. If you had to go grocery shopping anyway, and it's telling you, hey, if you go to Sam's Club this week, we're doing 10 times the points. Guess where I'm going to get my paper towels and my toilet paper to stock up? I'm going to Sam's Club because I'm going to use the reward points for later to pay and give me free stuff. So if you're spending $600 each month on groceries, using a card that earns 3% cash back could earn you over $200 annually. That's free money. You were going to go grocery shopping anyway, right? Discover has some really great cash back reward options as well. This is Christmas money that you can use to purchase when you're already making these purchases anyway. All right, we got another comment in the section here. I'm just going to pull this up. Okay, so Carmen says she started, but we have a graduation in the same month. We were doing an Airbnb, but decided to cancel it because it wouldn't be added. It would be an added expense with travel. Yeah, so she's shopping smarter. She knows she has to travel, but the Airbnb is going to cost her more. So yeah, we got to take a hard look at our finances, everybody. Thank you, Carmen, for sharing that. That was really good. Thank you. Thank you. Another example that you can definitely do with your credit cards, if you're not already doing them, to, use them for their benefits, right? If there's bills that you're paying on a reoccurring cycle, why not put your cell phone bill on there, your utility bills, your streaming subscriptions like Netflix and Hulu and Disney, your internet bill, right? These are things that you have to pay for every month. Why just do a direct debit from your bank account when you can use your credit card, pay for it, and then you're earning points. You're earning cash back. So just make sure you pay it off in full every month. That way you're not carrying over a balance, so you won't get hit with any interest. But now these everyday bills are earning you rewards instead of nothing. And then it's good to look for cards that don't have any annual fees, and then they have reward points associated with them. So Chase Freedom Unlimited has some really great options. Chase Freedom Flex. You have the Wells Fargo Active Cash card as well too. Blue Cash Every Day, the Capital One Saver card, and Discover It has cash back too. So Capital One and Discover It both have cash rewards. The Blue Cash Every Day from American Express, and then you have some Flex cards and some Unlimited with Chase and Wells Fargo. So these are some really good options to look into. If you go into like a Credit Karma and check your credit for the monitoring, it'll show you different credit card offers there. We even have a search engine through the company that we partner with through Nove that can help match you with credit cards. So if you need some help on that end, just let us know. We can help you figure out the best options for you, especially if you're looking to get in some reward points and some cash back options for your credit cards. Okay, but important, do your research. Do your research to find the best matches, and that matches with your spending habits. The goal isn't collecting credit cards, all right? It's really choosing one that's going to work for you. We're doing a lot more travel this year, so we looked into travel cards. What matches with your lifestyle? What do you have that might have changed? That same card that you started with, if for those who already have credit cards, if you're only getting 1.5% cash back, maybe it's time to hit the next tier on the credit card spectrum and look into some different rewards that you can do, especially if now you have more flexibility when it comes to spending and where you shop. So let me ask everybody this, okay? What expense that it surprises you every year when it comes around Christmas time? You're like, I didn't realize how much this was going to cost me this year. Are you spending extra money on gifts? Like if you look back last year and you looked at your bank account or your credit card statements at the end of last year and was like, what happened here? Did you go gift crazy? Did you spend way too much money on food? Did travel hit you with some unexpected expenses? Was it the decoration or was it holiday parties? Drop your answer in the comments. I want to see what made you clutch your pearls last year. Oh, Janine said it was the gifts. Janine, I don't know why you surprised, honey. You got a lot of family members over there. I'm surprised. I'd be surprised if you wasn't spending a lot of money on gifts. All them blessings you got over there. Love you, Queen. Love you. I think last year, the food was a surprise for me because we traveled in from out of town. So this year, we wasn't hosting Christmas, even though I'm gonna share something. Our family thought we were gonna come in from traveling, and they thought we was gonna host Christmas. I'm like, we don't have a house here anymore. How we gonna host? They're like, we gonna come to the Airbnb. No, we not. There's a no party policy at our Airbnb, but we did contribute. We helped buy, some of the Christmas dinner food, and the cost of food went way up last year compared to what it was in previous years, like triple the price of what it was in the past when it came to Christmas shopping for food and making sure we were prepping for dinner. And then we cooked a lot more food than I thought we were going to end up cooking. So food actually surprised me at the end of 2025. Yeah, we had a couple people say gifts. Yeah, so is there any traditions, everybody, that you all have that don't cost a lot of money that maybe you do with your family? Maybe we can share some ideas with people so they realize that maybe it's not about spending money this year. Maybe we do something as a family, do an experience, where it doesn't cost us a whole lot of money and then everybody can come together and enjoy it. I know some families go and they go to church together for Christmas, to really celebrate the birth of Jesus. Um, we all come together. We usually try to do a potluck and we pick names so the cost can kind of be down for our family. Of we tried the white elephant where everybody bought a gift and then people were just to pick it and pass it along. And then we also do like a karaoke night at the house. We've done that before. So if you have any family traditions that you want to share, it doesn't cost a lot of money. Maybe you might give someone else an idea of what they can do with their family this year to kind of save on costs, because everything is up. The cost of living is up. Rent and mortgages are up. The taxes are rising. The grocery prices are up. Gas prices are up. So if we can find a way to still be able to enjoy each other for Christmas and not making about spending a lot of money on presents and gifts, that's even better. So, what is one thing we should stop feeling pressure to buy every Christmas? Some examples may be expensive electronics. How many more phones and tablets and TVs do people need, especially now where everybody do everything on their phone? Do we even need all these other extra gadgets anymore? Designer gifts, toys that kids forget about in a month. I remember one year my daughter got so many gifts that she didn't open half of them because it was just so many. We end up donating a lot of the gifts that she had got for Christmas one year to, the Salvation Army and some other families at churches because there was no way she was going to be able to play with all those toys. At one point, it got to where even my sister in law was like, don't buy them any more toys for Christmas or their birthdays because they had too many. The toy boxes was more than full. And it's a blessing that they were so blessed that they have so many people who love them that want to share gifts with them to show love. But maybe we can do something else, right? Um, Hosting extravagant parties. Maybe that's not in the budget this year. Although next year I do want to take a Christmas cruise. I'm gonna drop that. Start dropping hints now. So y'all work on Mr. Shabazz for me. I like it because we don't have to buy presents. Everybody can just use that present money, and we can all go on a trip together, right? We go on a cruise. I don't have to cook. We don't have to clean up. And we get to spend quality time together and hang out as a family. I think it's a magnificent idea. I love it. I love it. All right, we got some traditions in the chat here. I just want to circle back to it a little bit here. So Carmen says she plays games and karaoke. The grandkids tell stories and fun activities. I love that. The grandkids telling stories. Yeah, we play games as well too. Yeah, maybe later this week I'll drop some footage from the last Christmas and Mr. Shabazz running it up in one of the games and beating out all his nieces and nephews. Yep, love that, Carmen. That's a really great idea. Yep. So some things that we can also think about too. Again, like Carmen said, meaningful gifts that don't cost a fortune. Especially if everyone is on a budget this year. Maybe we don't look into buying gifts. We just look into spending some time and coming together. We do homemade gifts, right? Family game night. We baking together. Memory books. That's fun to put together with the family. I used to like to go through all the photo albums when I was a kid. I used to sit down in the middle of the room, pull out all the photo albums, and just like, who is this? You know, Quizzing my mom and my dad, make sure they know who all their relatives was. And we do handwritten letters, or experience gifts. Go down to, if you're in Chicago, Navy Pier always do a Winter Wonderland extravaganza. It doesn't cost anything to get into Navy Pier, but you might spend some money when you get there because the food and the other things they have going on, but it's free to go in there. There's also Chris Kringle Mart where they can do ice skating in the park, so you can look up in your city, your local area, and see what things that the town is doing. Usually, the villages in your local neighborhood usually have something that they're doing free for like the kids and families, especially during a time where the spending might be on a standstill. All right. We got some advice from Miss Teresa Smith in the chat. She said, I would set a limit on how much I would spend per child. Thank you, Queen, for sharing that. Yep. Get your budget together. That's smart. I used to do an outfit and one toy for my nieces and nephews when they were younger. One outfit, one toy. Each kid get one outfit, one toy. And it wasn't nothing too crazy. I thank God for Children's Place because they would have some really, really good deals. Or even like TJ Maxx or Marshalls, especially if they're little babies, that they're gonna outgrow these outfits in a couple months anyway. Why are we spending hundreds of dollars on designer and they're still growing? But Yeah, look into Carter's or Children's Place, TJ Maxx, Marshalls. Those are some great options for kids. Kids. Target is dangerous. Don't go to Target. I'm still boycotting them. I thank God there's no Target in Mexico right now. That's what's saving me, honestly. So some things that we can start doing now because we're in July is start saving now. Don't wait till November. Create a holiday sinking fund. This is just a savings plan for your holiday shopping and spending. Make shopping lists before every trip. Try to stick to it. I talked to Alexa. I just said her name. She might start lighting up right now. She listening to me. Start doing a list so you can try to stick to your list when you go to the store. And compare prices before purchasing. We have the power of the internet right now. You can definitely shop around and see what kind of deals they are. Sometimes they give you better deals online versus in the store because they don't have to ship the product to the store. They can ship it straight to your house. And then shop clearance all year long. If you need some advice on that, you can reach out to Miss Sherry Landrum on our team. She's real good and giving advice on how to find the clearance and shopping smarter for your family and shopping natural too. So she's really good at that. Give experiences instead of gifts, expensive gifts. And then every dollar you save today is $1, that you don't have to borrow later. All right. So you can cut down if you do end up having to use your credit card, you can reduce how much you're spending on that credit card. Yep, that's what we were just talking about. Miss Michelle, shopping off season. We're gonna start shopping for Christmas now. Instead of waiting. See out Christmas in July at the end of the season, like shop for summer clothes at the end of season, etc. Mm-hmm. Unless you like me and you've been eating way too many tacos and you might not be the same size that you will be next year for your summer outfits, it might be a problem. But other than that, if you do pretty good, you might can do your shopping for your clothes now. So we want to just make sure everyone, has what they need. If you found that you got some great tips today, feel free to like, comment, and share on the post today. But before next Tuesday, we're challenging everybody to start your Christmas savings plan. All right, we're gonna check in next week before our special guests come on, just to see where everyone's at. If you all have started saving now for your Christmas shopping, right? Create a separate savings bucket. If you have a SoFi account, you can set up it's called a vault, VAULT. They have different vaults that you can set up for different savings goals. And you can set the amount, right, that you want to have for next Christmas. So if it's $500, you can set the goal to 500. And as you start to feed it $20 or $25 a week, you can see how close you're getting to your goal. All right, so that's something that we can definitely do. Or you can also do an automatic transfer. So you're not even seeing it. It's just moving straight to your high yield savings account. And then write down your Christmas budget. Just don't think about it. You got to write it out. We got to write it down, make it simple, make it plain. So commit to it, try to stick to it. And then again, your future self is going to thank you because when December comes around, you are already going to be in position, right? If you need some help with any of this, definitely reach out to us. We offer free consultations to help personalize your strategy when it comes to hitting your financial goals. And whether or not you're looking to improve your credit or even just start a savings plan, we can definitely help prepare you for that. We also have options if your goal for next year is to become a homeowner. We are partnered with so many lenders and real estate professionals that can help you along the way in that process. If you comment Christmas here or send us a DM, we can definitely get you scheduled. You said spell that again. I'm going to drop it in the chat because, I got a little bit of a lisp, so it doesn't help me. Now, it's called a vault, VAULT. So if you have a SoFi account, if you go to the savings side of your high yield savings plan that you have with SoFi, they have vaults that you can set up. So like I have some set up for like last year we did like a no spend July where we were not shopping in any of the stores for anything extra, just necessities. And all that money that I saved went into that vault to start saving for Christmas because we were doing no credit cards for Christmas last year as well. Shout out to Destiny Reedy for coming up with that challenge last year. I think we need to implement that again, a no credit card again challenge for Christmas. So maybe she'll talk about it when she comes on next week and see how we can get started with that again. But um, I have a vault account within my savings account for different things. So traveling for the holidays, for Christmas, also for my nieces and nephews for their birthday gifts because I was yelled at multiple times about buying toys and stuff. So now I just put money into an account for them. And then when they hit a certain age, they're going to get this blessing. So you can definitely utilize that feature and it still earns the high yield interest rate on those vault accounts. So it's still the same APY that you're earning on your regular account. It's still applying towards those different smaller savings within your savings plan. Yep, I dropped it in the account there. Okay, so C's not here, but I'm still gonna go over Satitia's affirmations for the day because you know Satitia loves affirmations, so I gotta share them with her because we can't do tips and tea and not love on our Cebu. So today, and y'all stick with me because I'm not usually the affirmation queen. But today we're going to be teaching on weekly affirmations that you can start repeating to yourself that'll help you, just really not only affirm but manifest it. Bring it to the forefront. So for one, I am in control of my finances. I prepare today so I can enjoy tomorrow. I choose peace over pressure. I save with purpose and spend with intention. There's that intentional word again. That's been a reoccurring theme so far this year, being intentional. Every dollar I manage wisely moves me closer to financial freedom. And then debt does not control my future. I am building wealth, one smart decision at a time. My family will experience joy without financial stress. And I attract new opportunities to increase my income. Again, I continue to attract new opportunities to increase my income. And I am becoming the best financial steward I can be. In Jesus' name, amen. Because God, please help me be a good steward. Now, I definitely want to go ahead and wrap up the conversation because again, the queens got things to do, and I be on the move. So I just want to thank everybody again for jumping on the live this morning. I know it's early, so shout out to everyone who jumped on. I saw Roselle at one point, Michelle, and all the queens who commented, Carmen, Janine. Love you all. Good morning, Cassandra, Shamir. Thank you all for jumping into the live this morning. But just want to remind everybody the greatest gift actually when it comes to Christmas time that you can actually give yourself this year is not found under the tree. We definitely want to help people get more of a peace of mind. We don't want you to go into the new year in debt, right? We want you to go into the new year thinking about all the abundance and financial blessings that God has prepared for you. So if you start to plan ahead, then God has a way to now bless you with it. So the key is you got to create the plan and you got to work through it, work with it. So we want to help you eliminate that stress, reduce your debt, and give yourself the freedom to truly enjoy this holiday season. So thank you all again for spending this morning with us. And again, if today's conversation brought you some value, please feel free to like, comment, and share. We have our YouTube channel, Tips and Tea Live. So if you go there and comment, we definitely appreciate you all. So see you all next week on Tuesday, where hopefully we have Mr. and Mrs. Reedy on as the power couple to come drop some gems here. And then till next week, if you want to stay intentional, stay encouraged, and keep making boss money moves, we pray that you have an amazing, amazing week. I love you all.